Please welcome Rob Cohen.
Wow, good crowd for an afternoon session. Welcome, everyone. My name is Rob Cohen. I lead the sales and agency teams at Buy with Prime. So I'm very pleased today to have three panelists with us to talk about their DTC business and how they're using Buy with Prime to scale their e-commerce strategies. So you'll hear a bit from each of our merchants about their unique brands and the approaches that they're taking to omni-channel. And later in the session, we will have some time for some Q&A. So if you do have some questions, I won't take you through the full, I'm sure you're used to how you raise a question, but go to the app, sign into the app, you can hit that Q&A button, submit your question. Hopefully you've downloaded the app by now. And if you're joining us virtually, just hit that ask a question and we'll get to those questions at the end. So as Peter stated in the keynote, with the future of shopping in DTC, we're building solutions that let you invest in your e-commerce offering to bring Prime members to your site with some of the features and experiences that they already use on Amazon.com. So instead of talking about it ourselves, what I want to do today is introduce some of the merchants who are investing in their DTC to really understand how and why it's an important part of their selling strategy, and how they're using Buy with Prime to help reach new customers and build that lifetime value. So we have some merchants across, it's actually a very full spectrum of different sizes and categories, as you'll learn just now, to share their experiences. So without much further ado, I'm going to introduce Aisha Fatima Dozier from Bossy Cosmetics. Also Patrick Sean Briseño from Great Circle or Super Handy. And Logan Dunn from Wise. So thanks, guys, for joining us. Ready for this discussion? Okay.
Excited. Thanks, Rob.
Yeah, and it was great to see you up there on the main stage, Aisha, and especially with those cool glasses that you had.
I got another pair today.
Yeah, I see that. That's fantastic. So let's kick it off. I think first off, maybe if you could just introduce your different businesses, and I'll start with you, Aisha. Tell us a little bit about Bossy Cosmetics. Who are you? What are you? Tell us about the brand.
Absolutely. If you missed the main stage discussion yesterday, my name is Aisha. I'm the founder and CEO of Bossy Cosmetics. We exist to ignite confidence in women who self-identify as being ambitious, and we do that through clean, highly efficacious cosmetics. I often tell people that we are actually a women's empowerment mission-driven brand that merely masquerades as a beauty company. Our goal is really to excite, ignite, and empower working women, and we do that through cosmetics.
Fantastic. And so you sell on Amazon and you have your own DTC site?
Yeah, so our primary home base is bossybeauty.com. That's how we started. We're digitally native, but we did start selling through Amazon last year. It's been a phenomenal partnership for us. But we also sell in stores. We're in 300 JCPenney stores around the country.
Fantastic. So I'll come to you, Logan. Tell us about Wise.
Yeah, so my name is Logan Dunn. I'm the head of growth at Wise, and I am currently leading our DTC business. So Wise is a smart home company that focuses on providing great technology to everyone. That's our mission, make great technology accessible to everyone. I have been at Wise for about 3 years, and just excited to talk a little bit today about Buy with Prime.
Yeah.
Got a lot of cool products. Tell us one or two of the sort of type of products that you sell there.
I guess our most famous product is our Wise Cam, which is just an Wi-Fi connected camera, IoT camera that we introduced to the world at a $20 price point when the rest of the market was $120, $200. That's our primary one, but we also do a range of other products, smart light bulbs, smart plugs, locks. So we're trying to create that connected smart home.
Fantastic. And I told you there's a lot of diversity in the panel in terms of different categories. So, Patrick, I think you bring a very different sort of category to it. Tell us about Super Handy and the brands within Great Circle.
Absolutely. Thank you. So hi, I'm Patrick. I am the Sales and Marketing Manager for Great Circle Machinery. Our website is greatcircleus.com. We're actually a bit of a different company. We are more of a holding company for multiple brands, some of which were started on Amazon exclusively. Our leading brand is Super Handy. We have other brands such as Landworks, Realworks, Fuelworks. If you can't tell from the names of them, we focus on heavy-duty industrial equipment. Lawn and garden is also big for us. We're moving into other various categories that lean on our manufacturing strength, such as mobility scooters. And we're super excited to be here. We are a very unique brand, I think, on Amazon because of the types of items that we sell. Wood chippers, some of those weigh 120 pounds, log splitters, leaf blowers, things like that. So super excited. Amazon has always been our leading platform, but D2C is our next big push. So excited to share our experience and talk more about Buy with Prime.
So let's stay on that theme, DDC. You say it's a big part of your strategy. Tell us a little bit more about that. How does it fit into your omni-channel strategy, and what are the biggest challenges you face on DTC?
Oh, absolutely. So interestingly, for us, like I previously said, Amazon has always been our leading platform. When we originally got into e-commerce, we looked at all the options. You have Amazon, eBay, all the other guys, and of course DDC, and we saw that in order to scale and in order to get your product in front of as many people as possible, you have to be on Amazon. So we've led 99% of our business on Amazon for the past 5 years, and we've grown tremendously there. But this year, actually, I'm sure a lot of sellers can relate. We saw a need to diversify. A lot of that was led, due to the rising costs and things, supply chain issues, things of that nature. And D2C is something where we never really, it was kind of an afterthought, to be honest. So beginning of this year, though, we saw a lot of growth potential there. My main focus right now is growing our DTC and fostering more of our brand image and selling our products there. And it was really serendipitous for Amazon to reach out to us and help grow our business with Buy to Prime. So
fantastic. So I think, Aisha, your reasons for having a DTC are probably a little bit different.
Very different.
I loved what you were saying. I think it was in one of the meetings we had about your DTC being the home for your shoppers, for the people who are buying your product. Love that concept. So tell us more about that and your DTC site and why you have that DTC.
Yeah, so our brand actually started on the D2C site alone. So bossybeauty.com was the only place you could shop our brand. And we started really small, and we started to really gain traction. And the way I look at bossybeauty.com is that's our HQ. For lack of a better word, that is where we want you to come to really feel the brand ethos, the brand DNA. That's where you can look at all of our products. You can look at bundles. You can actually find the founder story. We have this series where we create a lot of content that inspire women. You can find all of that there. We really want our customers to engage with our brand at our site. But we also have grown over the last few years, as I said, an omni-channel business. So we really want our customers to be able to shop Bossy Cosmetics where it's the most convenient for them. And so you can either come to our site, learn more about the brand, but if you want to try it in person, you can go to a JCPenney store. What I realized during the pandemic is people who wanted to shop in person, obviously, as we know, couldn't. And so for us, getting on Amazon was absolutely critical because everybody was shopping on Amazon. So I looked at Amazon as actually a second leg to my D2C business, where D2C was home-based, but if you were buying groceries, soap, everything we all buy on Amazon, you could actually drop a lipstick in your shopping cart. And that flexibility was what made us decide to get on Amazon to begin with.
And the biggest challenges that you face with the DTC?
So for DTC, I have to say, I wouldn't call it a challenge. I would call it the reality of the world. You guys have made it that customers expect fast delivery, right? And as a small brand, I cannot deliver in 1 to 2 days. Right now, anything you buy under $75 on my site, we charge you $5, and that will take 3 to 4 days. We can't compete with what you have created, and so that's always been a limitation, because when a woman is buying a cosmetic purchase, lipstick or eyeshadows, she's not planning weeks in advance. It's a really emotional, evocative impulse purchase. She looks at this red lipstick, she's like, oh my God, that's gorgeous, I want it now. And we just couldn't do that, right? And that's why if she could go into a store, she'd buy it. But when the world closed down, Amazon allowed us to be able to fill that gap.
Yeah, I'll just add to that. I completely agree. So we got the questions in advance, and I was going through that, and I was like, okay, that was the number one thing I put, is like, how do we keep up with the major marketplaces, give customers the now de facto experience of, Prime shipping, and obviously we'll talk about that as we go into Buy with Prime, but just the things that they're used to, very rapid shipping, extremely, hassle-free returns, and all of these things that major players are making us as D2C merchants do. Like, we have to do it in order to compete and have a big D2C business.
And Logan, just particularly on the challenges, any challenges that you guys face specifically around the DTC?
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, like that is our biggest, is how do we compete with the big players? But I think that all of the challenges of D2C, and so just a little context for how Wise does D2C. So D2C is our biggest channel. We did start, we're Amazon native, started Amazon about 4.5 years ago, and immediately went into D2C as well. And that became our fastest growing channel, and has continued to be our largest channel. So anyway, we've made that kind of the center for what we do. But going back into the challenges, the biggest challenges, aside from what I said, are always the 3 pillars of e-commerce, right? Traffic, average order value, and also conversion rate, right? And how do we stay on top of it? Often we look to Amazon for how to do things, giving shipping promises, or how we do the bundling, and all sorts of things like that. So I would say, though, the number one of all of those is still traffic.
Yeah.
People are used to shopping in marketplaces, and so bringing people into our site is still, like, that's the biggest.
Quality traffic as well,
Of course,
right?
yeah.
Not all traffic is good traffic.
Yeah.
Yeah. And do you see this changing? I mean, obviously, COVID changed things pretty markedly. Do you see, are there any sort of key drivers or trends in the market, any of you that you see going forward that'll change how you think about your DTC?
Well, I would say, from my perspective, I'm in a very fragmented industry. So I don't know if this resonates with anyone, but there are lots of beauty companies. And so the reason why BossyBeauty.com is considered our HQ is it's our point of differentiation. That's how we really get to walk the customer through why you should shop our products. You don't really get that feel if you just go directly to Amazon. So we really want you to engage with the brand at our home quarters base, and then decide, look, if you're a repeat purchaser or if you want to shop on Amazon, you can, but you're already kind of locked into the brand ethos. And so for us, being in a fragmented industry, the ability to make sure you are driving high quality traffic to your website is absolutely critical. But then you have the challenge of fulfilling the order in a way that's, meets what the customer expects today.
Yeah, fantastic.
Just to add on to that, I would say for us, when thinking about COVID, our business actually exploded on Amazon during COVID, which I know happened for a lot of sellers. one of our biggest product lines are disinfectant foggers, which, if you don't know, they're these. They come in various shapes, but a common one is a backpack one you strap on, you fill it up with disinfectant, there's a little hose that comes out, and you spray down your facilities, your gyms, and it makes disinfecting large spaces really fast and easy. So obviously, there was a need for that. And Amazon, our business there exploded through sales of those products. I would say the one limitation of Amazon, though, was, while people could find the product, we were able to really drive the traffic there, and Amazon has great advertising tools and things to get your product out there. There's limitations on really communicating what your product is, educating the customer, putting enough video, putting enough of your brand, putting enough just enhanced content. Earlier they announced the premium A+ content, which is, I think is great, but, with D2C, you have the ability to really educate your customer on your products, on your brand, a lot more flexibility, so, yeah.
So let's pivot the conversation. I've spoken to a number of sellers out there this week. There's a lot of interest in Buy with Prime. What is it? How do I put it on my site? What should I expect from Buy with Prime? So, would love to dive into that with each of you. I think first off, what excites you most about Buy with Prime? Let's start with you, Logan.
So to start things off, kind of going back a little bit to the last question, because I think it just ties in great with what you were asking. But I think one of the trends that we're starting to see in the industry is this idea of off-site D2C. Okay, so if you think about like a Klarna or like a ShopPay or others, you're starting to see these marketplaces that are driving back to your own D2C, and you're seeing these universal integrations that help do that. So Buy with Prime is kind of like this, right? I mean, they're starting though on-site, and they're finding out about you here, and who knows where this is going to go in the future as far as a marketplace that brings people back to the site. I think that's where this might be headed. But what excites me about Buy with Prime is the Prime promise. I mean, Prime stands for a lot of things now, of course. But if you say, like, what is Prime? I think most people would say free 2-day shipping, right? Even though now it's like free 1 day for many of us. And so the fact that I could just put a Prime badge on my site and not be sued, and not just that, but also like meet that promise of 1 day or 2 day shipping, I don't have to do anything else. As long as I can say this and people know what it means, and there's a certain level of trust that Amazon's paid a lot of money to have. And so that's what excites me the most about it.
How about you, Aisha?
Yes, the promise of delivery on time, super fast, is important. But what I thought, so when we first started working with Amazon, we were fulfilled by merchant. And the reason we're fulfilled by merchant is because I wanted to own the customer data. It was really, and it remains important, as we all know, Amazon is however many trillions of dollars value because of data. And so I was very reticent to give all the customer data to Amazon. I wanted to keep it because that's the value for my company. Of course, I could not keep up with the scale of fulfilled by merchant, and more importantly, it was annoying to the customer because she found our product on Amazon, kind of expected it to be fulfilled by Prime, but then we're the ones sending it in, and it's taking 3 to 4 to 5 days. It wasn't exciting. So then we go on to fulfilled by Amazon, and that's working really well, but then we lose the data. And so in addition to the Prime delivery promise, I think having the customer data now and the Prime promise, for me, is what is most exciting about this. We have all sorts of activations as a brand that we do on our own in terms of like sending digital cards, sending physical cards to our customers, trying to do all sorts of things to increase customer retention. If I don't have my customers' data, then it's, I'm dropping the ball. And so I think one of the most exciting parts of Buy with Prime is that you get access to this whole new set of customers, but you keep their data.
Remarket to them, give back to them. Like you said, you're able now to create your brand experience, which you
Yes.
lose a little bit, like what you're saying, Patrick, the A+ content and all the new things, like that's really exciting, that's really cool. We need that on Amazon, no doubt. But the fact that now we have this new lever, I'm not aware of any other program right now that will share a customer's email with the merchant so that we can create those experiences.
And
So absolutely.
mailing addresses too. I think mailing addresses are critical. You want to know where your customer lives. I mean, I've learned so much about this country from running my business. I see so many different zip codes and neighborhoods I've never heard of, and this is amazing. And you can penetrate those neighborhoods, and I never could. So it's opening up a whole new set of customers for us.
Yeah, that's what makes it D2C, is the fact that you can reach out to them again.
Yeah. Patrick, how about you? What excites you about BWP? Buy with Prime.
Oh, so much. Like I said earlier, it was very serendipitous for Buy with Prime to come through when it did. I was tasked with the responsibility of pretty much rebuilding our website from the ground up. We're still working on it. We just relaunched a new version. Excited about that, but I think one of the biggest things for me is how easy it makes the order experience for the customer. To have right there on the product page the delivery date, the Buy with Prime promise, fast free delivery, the logo, the branding, that I believe it's just raised our conversion so much, and that's super helpful. Like what Logan was talking about earlier, the branding for Amazon, it's so strong, almost on a subconscious level. People just see that smile, they see that color blue, and people know to trust it. So, for brands like ourselves, where we're not the biggest name in tools, we're not the biggest name in our categories, it's hard to gain people's trust, and our items can range between $5 to $1,000. So I think having that Buy with Prime badge is just added that trust to our website.
So tell us more about the experience of actually putting it on the site. How have you been using it for several weeks, but what has that been like?
Oh, it's been very interesting. Well, first of all, it's very easy to add to your website. It's pretty much just a code snippet. The console that you gain access to for the tool, it gives you the code to place on your product page, and you copy that, place it there, and you're good to go. I think what we've really been doing is just really working on how to balance the design of adding now another pay option on top of all the other pay options that you typically have on your D2C site. How to really balance that out to where it makes sense, it's not confusing. We're doing things with pricing and things of that nature, so that's something we're constantly working on. So,
your experience, Logan?
Well, one thing I was going to add that I thought was really interesting that we like is that it works with Amazon multi-channel fulfillment, or Amazon MCF, right? So from a larger merchant perspective, I mean, we do just on our D2C tens of thousands of orders a month, and our Seller Central, like our 3P business on Amazon, is much smaller than our direct to Amazon 1P business. And so we don't actually have all of our catalog on our Seller Central account. And we could, of course, but we chose to also use Amazon multi-channel fulfillment. And I like that Buy with Prime works with this. I know I was talking to you prior, Rob, about this a little bit, but we actually got on Amazon MCF and enjoyed what was going on with that, and we're like, okay, this is great. Like, it's faster fulfillment for our customers. It's similar to that 3P experience, all of that. And then I was like, but the only thing missing here is the Prime experience. Yep. And then lo and behold, unknowingly, we got on MCF not knowing this, but Buy with Prime comes out and gets announced, and so we reach out and we're like, hey, can we get in on this this new experience? And that kind of connected that dot, and we were able to say, okay, great, we have this everything in line now, and now we can offer Prime as well. So that excited me that it worked with that MCF experience, not just Seller Central, the 3P portal.
And how's it gone?
Yeah, it's actually gone really, really well. So we partnered with the Amazon Buy with Prime team to do some testing. And just huge shout out to some members of your team, Rob, that helped us. So we have Harrison Silver on their business development team. And then on my team, Rob Johnson. He's been tremendous in helping us work on this. But we ran an A/B test on our site. And we're actually continuing to run A/B tests. We're in the middle of our second test right now. To just see how effective is Buy with Prime. And we've tried different placements for the button, making sure it's above the fold, below the fold, hide the sticky nav, show the sticky nav. So we're in fact, right now, we're concurrently running 4 tests, carving off a piece of traffic for each test to see, like, how does Buy with Prime work? And we haven't done any advertising about Buy with Prime. We don't want to kind of muddy the water of this test and say, come and see Buy with Prime. This is so cool that we can do that. We're excited about doing that, by the way, but not yet. And so we ran this test, and we saw a 28% increase in our conversion rates on the tests that had Buy with Prime. So that, to me, is very exciting. Like, it's doing what we anticipated, we hypothesized it would do, is boost our conversion rate. So very exciting.
But it's interesting to hear you say you've already had to work at sort of figuring out how it fits into your strategy for your site. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, I mean, overall for our site, okay, so we're running some of these tests because drawback right now, to be honest, with Buy with Prime is this, you can only go and check out with that single SKU. You can do whatever quantity you want, but it's that single SKU. And so we want to know, like, is the conversion rate boost enough to for the average order value hit that we're likely going to see because they can't bundle items. Now, I think you might be able to speak and answer a little bit like when that's coming or what we're expecting on that. But that to us has been, like, we needed to know, is the conversion rate boost lift enough? Is it going to provide us with that value? And I mean, right now it's looking good. We're continuing to test. We've also, like I mentioned, we're playing with button placements to see where is it going to do the best for us. We're looking at adding on-page marketing materials, like above, like very top of the page. This is a Buy with Prime product to help drive a little bit more notoriety to that add to cart button.
So I just wanted to add to Logan's point in terms of lifting conversion. For us, I actually would love to do an A/B test, and you'll have to talk to me about that later. But
sign us all up.
Yeah, please. We fully embraced it. As soon as we heard about Buy with Prime, we went all in. If you go to our website right now, it's front and center. So please. But towards the beginning of it, I was actually a little skeptical. I wasn't quite sure if people would use the button. We tend to have a much older demographic, 55 plus. And I wasn't sure, if people would get used to that, right? But quickly after installing the button, we saw a big lift in our conversion. And pretty much about 3 to 4 weeks into it, we saw half of our sales and orders went to Buy with Prime. We saw about a 25 to 35% lift in sales overall, and like I said, half of that went to Buy with Prime. So.
Wow, what a testament to the power of Prime right there. That's great.
That's amazing. We have a slightly different experience, given that the majority of our customers are really motivated through social media. So I don't know the extent to which you drive traffic to your site using social media, but that's a very big source of quality traffic for us.
Sure, yeah.
And I noticed that when we put the widget on the site, I didn't see a lot of change. The moment we went on social media to talk about what the button looked like, so it's a button and you're familiar with it, you're like, okay, Prime, I get that little swoop, I know it's Amazon, but I found that our customers didn't quite understand what it meant. And so our typical order value is anywhere between 2 to 4 items purchased at once. So we didn't actually see conversion when we first put it up. So then I went on social media and we kind of posted about it and talked people through how it worked, how you could get it done. And then we started seeing conversions. Unbelievable. And so I don't know if it's because we have very different types of products.
No, we totally plan to do that.
Okay.
I think that is like, what you're doing is
yeah,
awesome.
so it's now, so if you come to our
You don't
site,
leverage that brand. It's like you're losing out.
It's super important. So if you come to our site, it's at the top of the banner. We also have somewhere middle of the site as well where it takes you to. And then if you click on that, we have a Buy with Prime collections page. And it's kind of like, so how does this work? And then in addition, we've posted on LinkedIn, we've posted on Instagram and TikTok. And honestly, it has been amazing for us. So I think that and even in speaking, like I do a lot of IG Lives and I talk about it, and people are really excited about it. So I think it's really important for us as brands as well as Amazon to educate people on what Buy with Prime means. Because the logo, brings a lot of trust, but I don't think people really understand what it means.
So you've been using the badge in social media,
Yeah.
so you're actually using that brand?
Legally too. No, you guys were really helpful in giving us this marketing toolkit. And so on a number of our products on social media, you'll just see the little blue Buy with Prime thing there. And some of the announcements that were made yesterday, really exciting about being able to do sponsored brand ads and sponsored display ads with that logo that direct back to your website. So that's really, really huge for us. But we use that signage to really indicate that this is an authentic offering. And people are really are excited about it.
Just a comment, that's an A/B test. I mean, you saw
I'm doing my own A/B
putting
test.
it on, and then you put it on, and you saw huge jump. I mean,
Yeah.
you did it. That's
Yeah.
great. I want to go do that now.
Yeah, do it. You should. It works.
Patrick, tell us about your traffic driving. I know you've got the collections page, you've also got the badge on the home page. How are you using it in traffic driving?
So when we first installed the button, we also made sure to, do our best to help introduce people to the button as well and educate them. So we did make a landing page just for Buy with Prime. It has a button that takes you to an FAQ that tells you all about it. It has some of our top products featured. So I think that was very helpful for easing people into the product itself. But in driving traffic, the other part of Buy with Prime that we've had access to and hasn't been too much of a focus for too many of the talks, but the thing with Buy with Prime that really excites me are the expanded advertising tools that we now have access to. There's now sponsored brands options that are taking customers from Amazon to our website, and that's huge. That's mind-blowing for us. So that's absolutely helping with traffic overall and good traffic, and yeah, it's been really crazy to see, honestly.
So we've touched a little bit on the reaction of shoppers, but I'd like to go more into the reaction of shoppers. Are you finding you're having to educate them on what is this button, and how are you doing that? Logan, maybe if you want
Oh no, so we actually saw that. So our first test, when we did it, we felt like we weren't doing what you're saying. Like we weren't educating our customers. Now again, we didn't announce to our customers we're doing Buy with Prime. We knew that we did not want to do that until we established the baseline for it. So we're coming with what you're doing, Aisha. But yeah, when we did that, Rob, what we saw was the button was too low down on the page. It was not people just were not going down and seeing it. We were relying on a sticky nav up top. And anyway, it just was not being marketed well enough. So we actually worked with your team, and we worked with the designer on your team, Rob, and we came up with how we might change the Buy with Prime button. And so what we did instead is we made sure we cleaned up the Add to Cart section. We made sure the Buy with Prime was above the fold. We took off that sticky nav to kind of have that focus on the test, like I said. And then we also put a little or in between that would appear when the Buy with Prime appears, so that it says Add to Cart, the standard Wise button, and then it says, or buy with Prime with a delivery promise underneath. So we tried to like really showcase that experience for the customer, bring their eyes, their attention right in there.
Fantastic.
I just wanted to add also, for us, the really interesting thing about the Buy with Prime button, and what works great for us on our D2C side is, as I'm sure a lot of people know, the margins on your D2C sites are probably a lot better on Amazon. You pay for what you get on Amazon. You get a ton of traffic, ton of views, but there's certainly fees associated with that. But on our D2C site, they're a lot less. So for us, we try to pass that down to our consumer. So we do price things lower in general on our site. And actually with the Buy with Prime button, we're actually able to have custom pricing for that as well. So what we've done on our website to help kind of drive traffic to the button and help ease people into it and help people engage with it is offer a discount just for Buy with Prime. So we have a promo running right now where if you use Buy with Prime, you get an additional 10% off of the normal sales price on top of fast free shipping. So I think that has been a really interesting tool, another tool to feature deals. And yeah.
Well,
Aisha, your brand story, that whole, it's so compelling. I'd love to hear from you how you're using or incorporating Buy with Prime into telling your brand story on the site.
sure. So I often tell, I'm the CEO of Bossy Cosmetics, and that just stands for Chief Everything Officer. This morning when I was getting made up to do this, I did it on an IG Live. I'm always doing something on TikTok Live, IG Live, or whatever. And our brand, as I always tell people, our mission statement is empowering women to look, feel, and do good. So we want you to look as best as you want to look, but that doesn't have to be with makeup. It's all about how you feel and how you show up in the world. And so today, while I was putting on my makeup, lots of people were showing up and they were asking me about, well, how did you get on Amazon? How did you start your brand? Or how did you do this? And so while I was putting on my eyeshadow and my eyeliner and my blush, I was talking about my brand. I was talking about my life. I was talking about mistakes. I do IG Lives where I talk about, my 3 kids. I talk about all sorts of stuff. And in there, I weave everything. So when I'm having a conversation with our followers, I can talk about Buy with Prime. I've done it before where I'm like, guys, I don't know if you're shopping, here's a new way to do this. Have you heard about this? And people will ask questions.
Yeah.
And I find that, one of the things that I think people find very exciting about our brand is that we are very approachable. Like if you DM us, you will hear back from me. And I really try to have conversations with our customers as much as possible about the product or about going to business school or whatever is interesting. And so when I come out to our customers and say, hey guys, try this out, they will try it out. So it's a very big, we are literally a digitally native brand, and our customers will always try something new. And I think having that, Amazon as the reason to try something new, there's just the added trust.
Makes sense.
So something you both said just sparked a thought, and that is that you're both kind of alluded to the fact that Buy with Prime is actually cheaper than selling on Amazon, right? It's your traffic. You're doing the Instagram Live, and so when you do the Instagram Live, this is your audience that you've made through years of hard work and how many countless Instagram Lives, right? And so when you're telling people to go to Buy with Prime, which for us, we're a very tight margin business. Being friends with our customers, core value, we like 15% or less margin is what we're making. And so when that happens, if I'm directing people to Buy with Prime, I need to know that I'm getting a better price than Amazon. And you kind of see that actually in the general D2C world. You see a little bit of conflict sometimes between D2C, like you want to direct people to D2C instead of Amazon. And like what you're saying, like you are doing to your audience a live stream and you're saying, go Buy with Prime. right? And I guess you probably do tell your audience, like, hey, you can go to Amazon, you can get it here, you can get it there, but you really want them on your site. Like you said, that brand story. And I love that. It's like, and you don't have to worry now about giving up that seller fee, because it's a different fee structure on Buy with Prime. I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, I think the way we think about our customer, I mean, for all of us, you know, you have no brand, you have no company if you don't have a customer. Yeah. So for me, this is literally just a channel. Not to make you feel bad about it, but it's like, it's nothing personal. It's, I am offering something unique to my customer. So when I'm on the live, I'm thinking about how can I make her life better? How can I, what is bothering her? Like, what is the problem she's experiencing, and how can I be the source of the solution? So it's, oh, do you live in this area? Oh yeah, you can buy our products at JCPenney. And people will ask me while I'm talking about my eyebrows, right? Or, oh, you want it in 2 days? Are you a Prime customer? Buy it on Buy with Prime. So it's less about my love for Amazon or not. It's more about my love for my customer. And how do I give her as many options as possible so that she feels like Bossy Cosmetics actually really cares about her?
Yeah.
And so anything that works in that realm for me is I'm going full on that.
Yeah, totally. But I mean, like, I think about it from me, like so we drive most of our traffic through own channels. Like, so email, in-app messages, push messages, social, things like that. And so for me, if I control these channels for D2C. And so whenever I can, and I'm sure you're the same, but whenever I can, I'm directing back to my site. Right? And so totally true. Like, wherever you can get the product, especially as a brand, like just get the product. That's the #1 thing, right?
Get it and love it.
Yeah, exactly. But like, I will always favor my D2C over all my other channels. And now I can also, in my emails to customers, be like, hey, get it with Prime, and take them to my site and not take them to Amazon. Because I very rarely will use my email list to promote on Amazon.
Yeah, never.
I just wanted to add to that, while, obviously, we're here, we're talking about Buy with Prime, we want people to use it. But since we've added the button, we've seen not only a lift in Buy with Prime sales, we've seen a lift in our regular Shopify add to cart sales. That's gone tremendously up. And in talking with the team, you guys have shown that you guys love that. It's not something where you just want to steal all the sales. We're seeing that, this is a tool to just help businesses grow in general, whether it's using Buy with Prime, whether it's using add to cart. It's just like what Aisha said, just being able to supply your customers with the options available.
So I love hearing all these stories. I do want to make sure we've got some time for the audience questions, so make sure you're submitting them, and online as well. But 2 areas that I do want to cover. What else would you guys like from Buy with Prime that is not in the product today? It is a newish product. It is invite only, but what would you like to see?
I'm going with that first because
I know what you're going to say.
You know what I'm going to say, right? You said it, you alluded to it earlier that,
big problem right now.
E-commerce, D2C brands, we care about, quality traffic, conversions, and average order value.
Right.
I want people to come to my site, and I want them to buy a whole bunch of stuff and run away and be happy. The only issue with Buy with Prime is that you have to transact at the product level. So you can't build a cart and then have 5 products and then buy all of that with Prime. You would have to buy each of the 5 items with Buy with Prime separately, which causes friction, and we know friction is how, cart abandonments, right? So that's why I wanted to be the first to speak. That is the next thing you guys have to fix, is we need to be able to offer this to customers, that they can build their cart and then fulfill that cart through Buy with Prime.
Okay. Anything to? I know you agree with Aisha.
Yeah. No. I was actually thinking about this. 2 other things that I thought is, I want to see Buy with Prime do land customers back on a thank you page on our site. So as many of you merchants know, like, my own analytics, like, that's what I want. I never want to split my analytics across platforms. It's like very, very, very annoying. So I want to be able to come back, and I want to be able to track that Buy with Prime purchase in with my Google Analytics or whatever analytics tool is, right? And then yeah, the other thing, we talked about the AOV thing. That's probably the other biggest thing for me, yeah.
Okay. Just one last, I know I'm getting the hook for the questions, and we've got to get to some questions. But I think what would be useful for all of the sellers in the audience and online is just kind of any advice to them in taking this journey, any guidance for the merchants out there?
I mean, try it. It's really easy to set up. So, I mean, like we're testing to make sure it's not like that it's actually beneficial and things like that. But I mean, I think it was very, very easy to set up. And they imported straight in from the Seller Central. And I mean, yeah, I feel like there's very little reason not to try it once it's open to everyone.
Yeah, I mean, it's super easy to set up. You can do it with 1 SKU, you can do it with 10 SKUs, you can do it with all SKUs, you can turn it off. You know, my advice to anybody is just give it a shot and give it some time. Put some, you know, some energy behind it to see and do an A/B test. We've all clearly done our own forms of A/B tests, but I can't see any reason why you shouldn't give it a try.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will add though, what we have seen is, you know, merchants who just activate 1 SKU and it's hidden somewhere deep in the site, you're not going to really see as much impact. You really do need to give it its due worth and, you know, activate a few SKUs, make sure you're branding it, and, you know,
But if it's your hero product, if you have a hero product, I mean, I imagine there are all sorts of sellers in the room, you know, virtually. Some people have 4 SKUs, that's it, right?
Yep.
I met a seller yesterday, she has 5 SKUs, that's it. So if you have a hero product that you really think that this is the one that you can test it with, do it with just 1. I mean, if I've got 30 SKUs, so it's a bit of a different situation. But, you know, give it a try. And when you're giving it a try, give it a meaningful try. Don't do that. Don't put it on 1 SKU and then bury it in some random collections page. That doesn't help anyone.
Yeah, we did do that. We did it like 2, 3, saw how that was, and now we've got her across our entire catalog for this test and seeing the results across catalog.